What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the BRZN F1 channel. As you can see, now the hosts are a little bit better looking, and our average height is gained by 5 inches. Liam's not here today, but as always, you have me, Andrew, and our newest member, Frankie, joining the podcast for the French Grand Prix, Paul Ricard, and we'll get to everything that happened clearly. But off the hop, Frank, your initial reaction. You're our Ferrari F1 correspondent. How do you feel after today's race?
I feel like 2018 Hockenheim.
Oh yeah, Seb.
The day Seb lost the championship.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. Absolutely, I am so upset. It's not even funny.
Just gutted.
Yeah, this is bad. This is as low as you can get. And I think every week we've been talking, it's getting lower and lower. I think for all you Ferrari fans out there, it doesn't get better.
No,
this does not get better.
And that was most of the backlash I was seeing on Twitter and all the other commentators saying what more can Ferrari do? Because if it's like we talked about before in the podcast, if it's not due to durability of the vehicle, it's due to mistakes by the driver. If it's not due to mistakes by the driver, it's by a bad strategy. And today we had a combination of almost all three come into play.
All three. Yep.
So
I agree.
Again, another race. Charles Leclerc on pole position from yesterday. Had a cracker of a Q3, and then again just unable to keep it going. Right?
Yeah, I actually saw yesterday. He's third all time for Ferrari for most poles.
That's such a young career too at Ferrari.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So I mean, he's already passed Seb a couple weeks ago. He's passed Seb with his pole there, but that's just crazy to think that he's been in Ferrari for what 2019, 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the years were not too good, but to have as many poles as so the great, it's crazy.
And I could be wrong, but I did see a stat today where I think him and Verstappen are tied tied on pole positions.
Yeah,
they both have 16. But then the other stat after that was that Max has 27 victories and Leclerc has what, 4?
Five.
Yeah. So that there just goes to show either you're not up for the challenge or your team's not up to the challenge.
Yeah. You can't deny how good Max is. That's the thing, you can't deny how great he drives. He just has, he's got it all. He has a team behind him. He's got the car. And he has balls. He goes forward when other people wouldn't, and he's got it, man.
Yeah, and he was kind of criticized for that at the beginning of his career because there was a lack of maturity comment always made. But now he's still making those lunges, but he's doing it at the right times.
Yeah,
and he's taking full advantage of all his opportunities he ever gets.
He's calculating his opportunities. Okay, this lap here, not close enough. Instead of going for the lunge and being out of the race, causing collision, next lap will get him, and that's what he does.
Yeah, way more calculated. And that comes obviously with experience, but it also comes with the pedigree of now being a champion. Mm-hmm. Now he has that in his on his back. He wears it and says, "Okay, I'm a world champion. I don't have to." Be gutsy and lunge. I have, the confidence to do it on his own terms, as opposed to other racers who say, I might not get this chance again. Yeah.
He's more, I guess the weight slips off his shoulder to put in good terms. He has no stress anymore, goes out and drives. Yeah. And it's free. So, he's free driving, which is, the best place to be in. Lewis Hamilton did it for all those world championships that he's had and never had any pressure from anybody really. And he's able to just, freely own the car. And we see Max do that now, even today or this weekend, actually, where Red Bull didn't really have the best car. Ferrari was clearly, probably had the best performance in all the practice sessions. And then in qualifying too, with how Leclerc and even Sainz in that Q2, got that wicked lap time. But again, it just goes to show whether you have the best driver, the best vehicle, it comes down to how you can kind of put it all together. And Ferrari is still, kicking themselves in the ass every race. I kind of like this. I saw in the Q3 where Sainz gave him the toe. That was pretty cool. It's good teamwork. You have to see that. Drivers are getting along. He knows Sainz, he has a penalty. He's taking the 20-place grid penalty. Mm-hmm. So it's good to see that. He's understanding a little bit. It's a team. It's team sport.
Yep. So we'll get to the actual, race action right now. Like we stated, Leclerc on pole, Max in second place right there behind him, and Checo in third. And then the other Ferrari driver, Carlos Sainz, starting P20, like Frankie just said, due to an engine penalty taken in lieu of what happened last race in Austria.
Yeah, he started, I think, ahead of Magnussen.
Oh, he was 19. Sorry, he was 19. Yeah, K-Mag was 20.
Yeah, same what happened in Montreal when Leclerc started ahead of Yuki because they got into Q3 but anyways, yeah.
Yeah, and we saw right off the hop, Leclerc and Verstappen kind of went to the first corner. Leclerc pulled away, but from Sainz's standpoint, he raced his ass off today.
Yeah.
And similar to like what Leclerc did in Montreal by starting so far back and pulling himself up there, he had the best vehicle all weekend.
Yeah,
fastest car by far, and it must be fun. Like I know Hamilton's done it in the past a couple of times. It must be so much fun to just have like a wicked fast car and just being able to know that you can just boss everybody on the grid, because he was passing cars left and right every single lap. It was almost like he gained 2 positions per lap for the first 5 or 6 laps.
So yeah, K-Mag, he went from 20th to 14th off the first lap. I'm like, oh, here we go. Then Sainz, he caught up. He caught him within a couple laps. He was in P14, and when did the safety car come out? When did Leclerc crash? 18?
It was 18. Yeah.
Yeah, he crashed 18. Yeah, he was.
I think he was already Leclerc, by P10 at that point.
Yeah,
or close to.
Yeah, but Verstappen couldn't get past him. Leclerc defended very well. Could not get past him. I don't know. Maybe I think the tire deg had a big factor in today's race. A big factor. It was scorching out there. I see.
Yeah, everything going on in Europe right now. We have like that whole heat wave in England.
Yeah.
And, across Spain and Portugal into France now. Yeah. So yeah, it was a huge heat wave. So yeah, the tire deg did really play a factor. Yeah. I kind of thought you would see more teams start on the hards than we did.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I think it was just 3 drivers. It was Sainz for sure, and I can't remember the other 2. But there's only 3 out of the 20 that started on hards.
I think I remember. Who was Magnussen?
It might have been one of the Haas drivers because they were kind of on a weird strategy too.
Yeah, they got screwed bad today.
Yeah, they did. Unfortunately for them, they had a pretty quick car too.
Yeah, they got with the safety car.
Yeah.
So, let's get into that. That's
yeah. So I thought that was gonna happen, but yeah, the battle between Leclerc and Max. Max had him dead to right a couple of times. Like he had him right there, but Leclerc kind of shut the door.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, the tire degged after 6, 7, 8 laps, whatever it was. It just leveled the playing field.
Yeah.
And Ferrari was able to pull away. Leclerc was at one point almost 3 seconds ahead, I think, by the time his crash happened.
Yeah, he was. Another thing too is, Paul Ricard. I know this is the last year for the track, but to me, it's
thank God.
Yeah, I know. To me, it's very similar, similar style of Jet almost. Very fast corners, long straight, and it's a little bit harder to pass. For for example, Max and Leclerc, they're very evenly matched cars, you'd say, to a certain point, and you need that 0.6 of a second to really get past them. And this track doesn't really have that.
Yeah, whenever Max came up to the DRS stretch, I forget the name of the straight. It's got a French name to it, but whenever he came up to it, I would always check the interval, and it was if he was within 0.7 by the time he hit DRS, I knew he wouldn't pass him. Because he did it for the previous 4 laps. He's 0.7 away, 79, 0.8, and he didn't get past him. And at one point he was 0.59, I think. And that's the one time he pulled up right alongside and still couldn't get past. But then once that happened, the tire deg took over. And he never had another opportunity, really. Yeah.
So then it's lap 18, they didn't really show at first who it was. They saw the smoke, they showed the smoke of the car, and I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, my gut, I don't know why I knew it. My gut was like, that's Leclerc.
Really?
Leclerc's in the barrier. I'm like, that's him for sure. And then they go, I think Kravitz, he goes, Leclerc in the barrier. He said it, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, of course. It's the one guy who's completely on his own day, really. And he spins out. And yeah, from the team radio right away, we couldn't really tell what the issue was. He was obviously pissed off. You could hear him heavy breathing and that long pause with the no screaming in the head of every Ferrari fan for the next 10 seasons. But yeah, we didn't know what happened. I thought it was another failure. That's the first thing that I would jump to my mind. Would be either the brake the throttle what he had in Austria, or something similar to what happened just with another engine failure or something. But from his comments after the race, he said it was his own mistake.
Yeah, and it's funny too because on the radio he said the brake pedal or the pedal. I'm like,
yeah.
So why would he say the pedal in the moment? Then after the race, he goes, "No, it's my fault." It's like maybe you just someone that was happy with the pedal for him to say that. I think, right? I think they may be covering something up where.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, it's tough because like obviously his emotions, he's like so high at that point.
Yeah,
and he probably doesn't want to blame himself.
Yeah.
So he's like looking for any kind of excuse to maybe use, but maybe he went back to the paddock and he had some talks with the teams and they said, hey, like it was actually this. We have we have all the data that we have and everything was fine. It was kind of your fault. So maybe he could like cool down a little bit and own up to it if that's exactly what happened. Or maybe he got coached to say the right thing. Because we know Ferrari's they've had a pretty bad PR season, so we don't know what happens.
Well, from like the crash, it looked like he dropped the rear end. I think, but that's just from what I see. Looked like he dropped the rear end, going to the corner a little too fast, and he oversteered.
Yeah, and again, it could have been tires. It could have been tires too. He had a pretty bad what's it called?
Blistering
on the front right.
Yeah.
It was the back end though. So I don't know. Maybe the tires were kind of wearing off and he just, caught a slick spot on the curb.
Yeah.
But again, whatever the factor is, it's another situation where, from pole position, it's his third DNF from leading a race this season.
Yeah.
That's you can't be doing that.
A little worrying some, I know. It's a head scratcher. That's what it is.
Is it? I mean, before in previous episodes, Liam and I gave him so much praise for being ready to like take the leap to become, a world champion. And we're saying that maybe the team's falling behind a little bit, which we kind of could talk about later on in the episode right now. But in this case, this is a Leclerc problem. And we've seen in previous years, him losing his cool, losing control, losing concentration. I think back to Baku in the castle section, just like crashing in qualifying or whatever it was. Monaco, last lap of qualifying, crashing out in there too.
Yeah.
Like these are just little mistakes that have maximum consequences from the player.
Like I said before in latter podcasts, these are the moments that define a world championship and second place.
Mm-hmm.
These moments here, these are where the greats come ahead. These are the big differences in, like I said, championship winning team, person, driver, or a second place.
So do you think he just has to like hunker down and like, do some self-reflection? Like, what do you think he has to do? Because like, again, he has all the skill in the world, but it's almost a confidence thing.
So we've named 3 mistakes in 2 years now. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Big mistakes though.
Big mistakes. But he's not making mistakes consistently. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's not making these mistakes week in, week out. He's not spinning like Vettel week in, week out. He's not crashing like Latifi week in, week out. So you're going to have, look at Hamilton. When Hamilton crashed in, where did he crash in Silverstone? No. He crashed in last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
In qualifying.
Yeah. That was Austria last weekend, right?
Austria. Yeah. He crashed. So you don't see Hamilton does not make those mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And, once in a while he does. And that's just the reality of what it is. Drivers do make mistakes, but it's a touchy line where it's like, okay, he's made some big errors, but he's also done a lot for, I guess, the team, the fan base. So at what point do you kind of balance it out where, okay, come back stronger and let's get at it?
I know. I'm trying to play devil's advocate of like, give the guy a break a little bit, but at the same time, like they're not little mistakes where he just runs off the track and loses a position here and there. It's like you're DNFing from leading a race.
Yeah.
Again, 3 times this year. Like those are even though like the scenario I just said, if he was leading a race, let's say like this race in particular, and he just ran wide a little bit, went in with no gravel, but like ran wide and like got stuck somewhere, or ran wide and lost a couple positions, but was able to come back and finish P3. That's still a positive result. It's a mistake where the consequence wasn't as high.
Yeah, you're limited to damage.
Exactly. But these 3 like mistakes this year, DNFs.
So, why didn't he back out of the barrier?
Maybe that's why he was saying like the brake or the throttle wasn't working properly.
Because I know the commentators were like, it's not Tech Pro barrier; it's a different kind of barrier they have there. Mm-hmm. And maybe a little hard. Maybe it got jammed. But you think he could come out of there? Yeah,
you would think so. He was probably trying everything he could.
Put it in reverse, but he got out pretty quick, though. I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe the front suspension was broken. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I didn't really see much posts about the actual incident itself. It was more just on his reaction.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for the kid because like he's a hell of a driver and he's just had a lot of bad breaks, like so many drivers have had in the past. But you just gotta feel for Leclerc. He's such a fan favorite. He doesn't really say anything bad in the press. You know, Ferrari loves him no matter what really happens.
Yeah.
But still, it's tough to see for him.
Yeah, you feel bad for the guy. I mean, you feel bad for you do. You honestly do. Feel for him.
So yeah, that brought out a full safety car, and basically every driver on the grid made pit stops there just after lap 18. Carlos, go ahead. Sorry.
Verstappen did not pit.
Oh, he pit one lap before actually.
He pitted a lap or two before, which I don't know if maybe it did help him. Well, for sure helped him.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone.
Because either way, if the accident would have happened, he still probably would have had time to react. Because I don't know exactly where he was, like where the accident occurred on the grid, because it was before the pit lane.
I think Verstappen pitted lap 15, so he did like it was a couple laps from when he pitted to the crash.
Mm-hmm.
It was a couple laps for sure. Because if he didn't pit, for sure it was.
No, but I'm saying if he did pit when the rest of the grid pit, he probably would have still come out in P1.
Yeah. Should have.
Yeah, this was an opportune moment that Red Bull had to take because they said like themselves, like he's gone. Like once the tires kind of leveled out and they're all done the mediums and they all chewed him up, Verstappen said, "Just get me in now. Try and do the undercut." And it most likely would have worked. I think he was cutting down the time on Leclerc pretty quick, but lo and behold, the safety car comes out. Basically, the whole grid pits. No, sorry for the interruption. And then
second pair on
Jesus Christ
on the podcast.
Come on, get out of here. No, and then lost my train of thought now. Damn it, Kelly. That's all right.
No, but like so.
Take it away, Frank.
Yeah. So Verstappen pit, like I said, lap 2 before, so he was clear of the safety car. It wouldn't have affected him. Everyone else came in. Everyone on basically the whole grid came in. Sainz came in. Hamilton came in. So Verstappen had that lead from the safety car. He got ahead. But let's get to Sainz because this is a little frustrating for me. So your pit window for the mediums was 15 to 20, I don't know what's 20 laps, whatever it is.
Yeah, it was about 50. About 16 to 20, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you pit on lap 18 with hard tires. Those tires should have lasted, 30 laps easily.
Okay, so you're saying Sainz stay out.
Sainz should have stayed 100%. Gain track position. You were in 19th, safety car, get track position. You're being probably what, top 4, top 5, I think. He would
have been P1 actually. Verstappen didn't pit, so he would have. Yeah. He would have jumped almost all the. He would have jumped all the cars ahead of him. For sure.
So you have track position on the and you can go longer too with the tires because it was a 2-stopper. I thought it was gonna be a 2-stopper for sure. There's no way you can get away with a 1-stop. Then so if he would have pitted, that would have he would have been better off on his race. But they pitted him to put the mediums on.
And then they want him to do 36 laps on mediums.
On medium tires, which is, you knew as soon as the mediums went on, like, you got to the end. Like, there's no way you cannot go that far with those tires.
Yeah. And I was kind of confused too. Not confused in a way, but again, I was like, he's going to come in, but he can't go to hards. He's the only driver coming into the pits. It's going to go to medium. And like you said, you think the medium might go for 30 laps and the hards might go for 30 laps and then the mediums go for like 20.
Yeah.
I think it's a 52 lap race. So
52,
so there's your tire balance. So now he's got to go 18 mediums and 34. 18 hards and 34 on mediums.
Yeah. So you're going opposite.
And I never really thought about it in the moment like that about that before because I was like, oh yeah, everyone come in. Like it makes sense. But I forgot that he's the only driver basically that's in contention on hard tires.
Yeah. If you put the hards on again, now you're committed to 2-stop.
Right.
So you're telling everyone you're committed to a 2-stopper. So like I said, that was a mistake that the team made. And this goes back to what we talked about earlier. Their team mistakes, driver mistakes, and car mistakes.
Right.
There's your team mistake.
That's the Ferrari formula nobody wants to be a part of right now.
Yeah, it's a trio. Yeah. So, well, Sainz stays out, or Sainz comes in, gets the new tires on. So then, nothing really, not much happened there for quite a while. Then, where were we at? So I know, like you're saying to the commentators, "Oh, Hamilton can win this race. He can win this race." It's like, okay, well,
I didn't believe that for a second. When they said that, I literally laughed out loud. I forget what lap was I said that. It was lap 30. Yeah, so just slightly after the safety car.
Yeah.
It was Crofty and who was the other guy today? It wasn't Martin Brundle.
Kravitz?
No, the other one in the booth there, the former driver.
Rosberg?
No, I forget his name. The younger guy, Paul DiResta.
Oh,
it was Paul DiResta and Crofty, and I think it was Crofty that made the first comment. He said, "No, Hamilton's only like 3.7 back right now from Verstappen. He can still win this race." I'm like, and then DiResta agreed. I'm like, what information tells you that Hamilton can pass Verstappen in this race?
Yeah.
Like after the safety car, when the most ideal time to pass, once that was gone by almost 10 laps, he's almost 4 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Like he's just gonna miraculously catch up now.
I do remember though that Mercedes had a problem in the pit because they double stacked Russell, and he was slow coming out. Hamilton hit a slower pit stop. Then this was when Sainz came in. This was when Sainz they released him in front of Albon.
Yeah, that was dirty. They did Williams dirty there.
And they almost hit. You see, they almost hit the McLaren. Pick on McLaren. It was very close to hitting him too. So that's another thing. Like you could have another second. You could have waited, no problem. Let him out.
Another Ferrari mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could have. I mean, that 5-second penalty. We'll get to it at the end of the race. That proved very crucial.
Yeah.
In like the last decisions of the last 10 laps, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I agree.
So we'll get to that right now. Actually, we'll just jump ahead to that. Sainz, he did everything he possibly could have done. Again, like kind of alluding to what we said before with Leclerc in Montreal, starting the back of the grid, doing a hell of a job getting all the way up there. He finished as driver of the day today too. Carlos Sainz put himself in prime position on those medium tires. We did see him, milk those tires for everything that they're worth, pretty much. Yeah. And thinking that, I couldn't believe like what was happening on the Ferrari pit wall during the battle that he was having with Perez.
That was. You know what though, Andrew? I do think though that was delayed. It had to have been.
Oh, you don't think it was a live?
That
thing.
I think they are delayed a little bit because, like, I know they did a botch job today, and I don't want to defend them, but even there's no way they would have said, "Come in." He was past the pit lane when when announcement or they called them or whatever. Yeah,
you're probably right actually with a delay because they don't swear. So like if there is like a swear that happens during the team radio, they bleep it out. So they have to have time to like edit it. So you're probably right because that did come in right during the battle.
Yeah,
it was like right at the pit straight there almost.
Yep.
The final turn going down the straight. So you're probably right. But I mean, again, it's all fucking drama. It's all for the media. It's all for like the broadcast, right?
Absolutely. Well, I don't understand why they didn't pit Sainz too, 10, 15 laps prior to when they pitted him. Make the decision, He gained on, he passed both McLarens, he passed Ocon, or Alonso, passed Russell, and he passed Perez.
Yeah, but then just ran out of time.
Did he pass Perez?
At the end there, no. He finished P5.
Yeah.
So he was, he climbed from, starting 19th. He was in P3 when he passed Perez.
So he passed Perez.
Oh, sorry. I think meant afterwards. Sorry.
Yeah,
he did. He got past Perez, and then you had that hard battle. Probably the nicest move of the race today. The nicest passing move. Hard fight with Perez, even fight, and then the very next lap they call him in.
Yeah, Coleman.
And they were showing on the broadcast, like the pit timing and the pit wall and everything. And I think it was past 30 seconds, I believe, you lose on a pit stop.
For some reason, this track you lose a lot more time than the pit straight. I think they extend. I know they did, but something happened.
Just really long.
It's a very long pit straight.
Yeah, and he had a shitty pit stop too. To be honest, like there was another. I think it was almost like a 4-second pit stop or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, just everything going against Ferrari. But again, I give Sainz credit because he drove a hell of a race today.
Yeah, it's nothing he can do. Nothing he can do at all.
Nothing he can really do. And even such small little things. I know we're really nitpicking Ferrari today, and I give credit to Max Verstappen for winning. We haven't really said anything about Verstappen just keeping his head and winning. It's another race where Ferrari takes all the headlines for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
But even like with their penalty, the engineer talking to Sainz got it wrong, and Sainz had to correct him over the radio, like what the actual penalty was. It's like,
to me, it's embarrassing.
What the fuck is going on with Ferrari?
Yeah, for a driver to be, driving at something odd miles per hour, focus on the driving. He focus on the race, and he's worried. And he has to worry about like the rules of penalties. Like it's just like I just don't get it.
It's a clown show right now. It's a clown show. You have a
5-second penalty, not a 5-second
stop go. I think they said
stop and go. Yeah. Or I don't know.
It was a whole messy situation, and the commentator said that he would probably have to come in around lap 40 would make more sense. Oh, sorry, not 40, lap like 35, 32 would make more sense for him to come in and pit for mediums and then do another 20 laps. Or you can go to the softs maybe. I don't know how bad the degradation on softs would have been, but give him a fighting chance, because once he did make that pass on Perez, he was quick enough to even catch Hamilton maybe, and definitely could have pulled 5 seconds ahead.
Yeah. The only thing that would have hindered him was the tires.
Yeah, but I mean, I think once he would have gotten past that 5 seconds, because like the best thing for Ferrari, I think this weekend in Sainz's standpoint would have been like a P3.
Yeah.
From this race. So once he got into that P3, even if he passes Hamilton, I think he could clear 5 seconds at least from P4, like to Perez.
Yeah. So these are, I keep bringing this back, but these are things where, Sainz starts P19, Leclerc starts P19 in Montreal. These are the things where they should be coming up and fighting for the win, where Hamilton did all those years ago, where, he's P19. You best believe he's coming up to fight the person to lead.
Yeah.
Brazil, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Started P20, got to P10, came back to P15, won the race.
Yeah.
So these are just the things
that's like killer mentality too. But again, he had the best car. He had the best thing going for him, everything. And I give credit to Hamilton clearly for what he's done, but different situations, different scenarios. But I just
what do we think of George and Perez fight?
Cheeky.
Yeah.
Cheeky George.
So the VSC came out because of who was it?
Was
Joe?
Joe, yep.
I think was it him? Yeah. So anyways, this VSC came out, and I'm like, please be safety car. Please be safety car. Like, come on, like if it was, it would bunched up and he would have got past him for sure, but unlucky. Then I don't know what happened there, but Russell, he got close. They're racing at one point. It looked like they're fighting, and it's like, what's going on here? Yeah. Then I don't know if Perez was sleeping, took a little nap, or I don't know what he did, but
that's what they were all saying. Like he caught him napping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tactics, right? I mean, the only thing that Russell could do from that standpoint was just, play the game, excel a little bit, decel, just let Perez know that he's there. But yeah, for whatever reason, whatever the hell happened, Checo just didn't get on the throttle, and the green flag comes on, and then George just breezed past him, gave him a little wave when he went by, and said, "See you later, bud." Like, it was the easiest pass the easiest pass Russell's ever made in his life.
Yeah, no kidding. No, it's good for Russell though. P3 for him.
Yep.
Good for Ocon too. Home favorite. What he finished?
P8.
P8 finished.
And Alonso too, actually in P6. So Alpine in their home race.
Yeah.
Double points for them, and double podium for Mercedes for the first time this year. The first time Leclerc. Oh, I keep saying Leclerc. God damn it. First time Russell and Hamilton were on the podium together. Definitely not Leclerc.
Did you happen to look at the cooldown room? You watch that?
Well, yeah, but they cut the audio. Do you see that?
But I don't know if just me, but there's tension between Max and Lewis, I think.
Oh, you
they're
think so?
Still, just their mannerisms and the way they're around each other, they just, you could tell that there's tension. And, even when Leclerc got into the accident, Verstappen on the radio goes, "Is he okay?" Mm-hmm. Tell me if Russ or if Verstappen would have did that last year with Hamilton.
Verstappen wouldn't. Hamilton might say something though. Hamilton usually always like he plays it up. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows when the cameras are on. He knows when the audio's live.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he definitely asked like how he was, and there's good. See, that's like good camaraderie between like the drivers and like whatever. But it's also they're rivals, and but it's healthy. It's like what's the word I'm looking for? It's respect. It's a respectful rivalry.
Yeah. As
opposed to Mercedes and Red Bull at each other's throats. Toto and Horner at each other's throats. Max and Lewis.
And they're buddies too. A lot of these guys are buddies, right? They grew up together. Oh
yeah.
I don't know for Verstappen, but I know like Russell, Norris, Albon.
Yeah. They're all on that karting circuit. In the F3 circuit together for it's all Europe, right? Like if you're anybody in racing in Europe, you're gonna go against each other if you're the same age bracket. A little bit. But yeah, it was an exciting end of the race. It was a pretty I think in the past, Paul Ricard, I don't like it that much because I think it just is a bit of a more boring race. It's very like you said, it's kind of hard to pass. It's not as bad as Hungary, like we'll see next week, but it's not the nicest track to make passes on.
Yeah.
But this was an exciting race, and again, for your standpoint, is for the wrong reasons. But it was entertaining.
Yeah, it's not. Also, too, it's not aesthetically pleasing, the track.
Fucking ugly, man.
Those lines, like, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, oh,
I know
it's unique, but like, man, like it's ugly.
And it is for like to slow down the tires, like the gravel, like gets it all chewed up and everything. But yeah, it's just so brutal. Bring back the gravel. If you go off track, get binned for a fucking reason. You don't get to come flying back on and go ahead.
Yeah, no, let's just say I'm not going to miss this track next year.
Is it going for sure? Like they're not coming back to France, or are they going to a different track in France?
I think they've done it. I know for sure that Paul Ricard's done. So I don't know that. I don't know if any more tracks in France. I'm not too sure. I do think F1 like kind of got top. They're going towards a lot of the Middle Eastern stuff. They're going there quite a bit. The States too, Vegas, Miami.
4 races in the States next year.
Yeah, the markets. They're going where the markets are at. Where the money's at.
3 in the States next year.
Yeah, they're following the money.
Yeah, and I think they always do post updates on when they're bringing races to other places. Good, Ryan. But they're going to. I think they're going to South Africa again. Yeah. I don't think I have ever watched a race in South Africa before. I know they used to go there.
Oh, they race there. Let's quickly check.
Yeah, I think Lewis said he might have gone there once or twice. So like maybe early 2000 or sorry, mid 2000s they were there.
Yeah.
But since I started watching, maybe in the last 10 years or so, they have definitely not been Africa.
1993 was the last South African Grand Prix.
93, holy shit.
93.
So I'm way off. What am I talking about?
So they've been there in 30 years.
Yeah. And there was a gap. Even Paul Ricard, there's a gap going back there. Going back to Zandvoort was a nice thing too. That's got to be like a Max thing, obviously.
I think that that he brings in a lot of money. The fan base too brings a lot of people in.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the race. Your podium saw Verstappen getting his, I don't know, 7th win of the season, something like that.
Yeah.
Hamilton, Russell rounding up the top 3. A lot of DNFs again. Latifi always ends up around that spot. Magnussen, Leclerc, Tsunoda, unfortunately. He kind of got the shit end of his stick in the first couple laps there with Tsunoda.
Yeah. Go Tiffy. That's his new name. Go Tiffy.
Liam calls him Lecrash.
Yeah.
Lecrashy or something like that.
Oh, but between him, Stroll, and Tsunoda, I don't know.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Take your pick. And of course, 2 of the 3 are Canadian.
Yeah, I know.
We gotta figure it out.
What are you gonna do?
All right, that's about all the time we have for us. We will be back next week for the Hungarian Grand Prix, Hungaroring. We
got a little break there for about a month.
Yeah, then after that's the big break. So we'll see what happens in the R&D department. See what happens with new upgrades and everything, and it'll be an exciting return to sport in a few months' time or a few weeks' time.
Yeah, definitely see it next week. No, don't expect much because it's going to be a extremely boring race.
We'll see. Ocon won last year.
Yeah.
So who knows? Anything can happen.
We'll see.